gotta give credit to Matthias, my co-founder, who came up with the idea of selling someone else's product to see how people reacted to that. But that really saved us so much time.
Yeah, yeah.
What The very first product that we were gonna build initially was something that could analyze your body language to tell you if someone was gonna buy or not using AI. And the interesting piece was that we found a startup that was doing this. We signed up for the product, we tried to use it, we weren't very convinced. Then we tried to sell it to other people, claiming that it was our product and say,
Yeah.
hey, look, would you buy this is our product, will you buy it? And very quickly we invalidated that idea because no one really, people were thought it was interesting, but no one really wanted it, right? And so that was like a great hack that allowed us not to have to build something that would have taken us months. Then the next piece was building real-time coaching. The real-time coaching piece was interesting. We built it. People were giving pretty positive feedback to the concept. We put it in the hands of design partners and they hated the product. The AEs could not stand having real-time battle cards coming on their screen and telling them what they should be saying. It was very distracting for them. So we went back to the drawing board, and our third idea, which we had in the backs of our heads, was that someone once told us, hey, our company will pay you a lot of money if you could fill medic in our Salesforce. And I was like, damn, like, why didn't we even start with that? And
Yeah.
so we ignored that user comment because we were so set on the first two ideas, right? And that's, I think, a mistake that a lot of people do. So we went to that and we built it. We shipped it to users, a few weeks later. Like within 4 weeks, we stopped working on the real-time piece and went into the billing CRM piece. And our users freaking loved it, right? They were like, oh, this is completely magical. And bear in mind, this was a month before ChatGPT came out. And so for
Right.
them, it was just completely mind-blowing. And end of November 2022, ChatGPT comes out. The whole world is upside down around AI. And we're like, all right, now's our time. We gotta release the product, come out of beta, announce our seed round on TechCrunch, and just start to grow as fast as we can. We knew we had a beginning of a product market fit. We knew that that wedge was probably not gonna last forever, that competitors were gonna build it, especially as we announced it. And so we announced that we were the first company that would fill your CRM based on what was being said in the conversation, fill fields and properties in the CRM. And then, we grew extremely fast, but also we saw 3 to 6 months later, a bunch of competitors just, pivoting and trying to copy us. We never try to sell a product without, having it built, at least at the beginning, because what's going to happen is that your prospects, they don't want to take political risk on an unproven product, right? And we don't want to have the friction of trying to navigate procurement process where all you're trying to do is get feedback. We just needed people to try to use it. And one of the other things, by the way, is that it did solve one of my big pain points, which is, look, I was having a bunch of prospect conversations. My Salesforce was empty. This was a pain that I had even at Mixer, which was our Salesforce was always empty. And then also I had to send follow-up emails to those guys after speaking to them. And I hated writing that manually, so I built the email generation piece for myself. And I was like, I'm sure if I find this useful, other people will find it useful. Or in real-time coaching, I didn't need it, right? I could not be my own user. So eventually, I think if you want to build something, you have to build something that you're going to use every day. And so this is still a guiding principle at Attention today, which is, look, we're building features. Now that we have a sales team with 7 people, almost 9 soon, is this a feature that we actually need internally? Because we very much look like the customers that we're trying to sell. Okay, a lot of our clients are much bigger, 10 or 100x bigger than us, but still the guiding principle is that is this useful for us? Because if it is useful for us, it's going to be very likely that it's going to be useful for our clients. And so the process is we dog food it, we iterate on it, we release it for our most forgiving customers who are going to be the people who love our product, who are okay with testing stuff even if it breaks. And then once you get enough feedback and iteration, then you roll it out to the next set of customers.